Poppy Playtime just revealed something absolutely massive hidden inside their 1-year anniversary post that none of us were expecting, including potential release dates, and they even revealed brand new characters and potentially the plot for Chapter 3. And here's what I mean. So yesterday, if you didn't know, was Poppy Playtime's 1-year anniversary, and to celebrate, they released a bunch of different promotional posters to celebrate the occasion as you normally expect. However, there was one very interesting video that they uploaded on YouTube that was just titled 1 Year. And from the gate, the theming seemed pretty suspicious, with the old-fashioned music playing in the background at times, along with the crew acting incredibly weird throughout the entire video. However, at the end of the celebratory post, randomly there was a bit of a glitch before the video seemingly went back to normal. And in classic theorizing fashion, if you look frame by frame in the video, there's incredibly interesting stuff to find. Throughout the frames during the glitch, we see 3 numbers pop up: 10, 31, and finally 22. Now, if we look at these numbers put together, it seems pretty obvious as to what this is. It would of course be a date, more specifically October 31st of this year, or Halloween. So apparently something is going to be coming on Halloween. However, what could that something be? Well, as of right now, we don't know, because all we do know is that the 3rd chapter is coming sometime in 2023, and therefore we're still a while from getting any sort of release dates or anything like that. The main theory people have been going with is that on Halloween, we're gonna get some sort of teaser, or dare I say, maybe even a gameplay trailer. The reason people theorize this is in the past 2 chapters, the rollout of them is usually as follows. They release a teaser, a gameplay trailer, and then finally a VHS trailer intro for the chapter a few days before it releases. So with that being said, in Chapter 3 so far, we've gotten the very first teaser, and so naturally the next thing we could be expecting from the rollout would be a full-blown gameplay trailer, giving us some clues as to what could be happening in the next chapter. Is that what we're going to be getting? We probably won't know until Halloween actually comes out. However, if we look deeper at these frames, we find out some incredibly interesting things about the 3rd chapter. For example, there is a piece of text here that reads, "Non-quid spears." I've mixed and matched this weird cryptic gibberish message a million times since its release. However, upon showing this to other people, it was noted out that this was not an anagram or anything, but rather Latin writing. And if we go ahead and Google translate this piece of text from Latin, it actually reads, "Not what you expect." So what could this mean? Well, I think it's referring to what we're going to be getting from the trailer releasing on Halloween. More specifically, who the main antagonist of Chapter 3 is going to be. Because if you didn't know, a lot of popular theories suggest that the Chapter 3 main antagonist will be none other than Bron the dinosaur, based on his head showing up in the teaser and the very specifically colored gas mask. However, many people conflict this theory as mere bait. And so I think when they're telling us that this news that we'll get for Halloween will be not what you expect, I think this means they're going to be revealing the real main antagonist of the game. But who would that be? I've tried a million times at this point to figure it out, and I've never really gotten any further than unofficial speculation. Well, that is until we look even deeper into the trailer. Whenever all this text is popping up during the glitchy scene, keep a close eye at the design we see in the background. Fading in and out of the screen appears to be a box with a star design atop it. So naturally, I began to wonder, what the hell does this little box mean? Well, to find out, we have to rewind this video all the way to the very start of it, where we see the Poppy Playtime developers talking about the process of creating the game. During this talk, if we look in the background of this video, we will notice a whiteboard drawing of all the fan favorite characters from Poppy Playtime, like Bron the dinosaur, Mommy Longlegs, Sir Poops a lot for some reason, Huggy Wuggy. Wait a minute, what is that sitting right next to Huggy himself? Well, it would be none other than this exact mysterious shape we saw from the cryptic message shown at the end. And in fact, if we look closer, we can see a handle proving that this is not just a shape, but it's actually some sort of brand new character for Poppy Playtime, being a Jack-in-the-Box toy. Something that we have actually never seen around Playtime Co before. So clearly this toy must be important, because if we look at the rest of the board, there's absolutely no other props, so we're definitely meant to point this out. And the fact that it was just sitting in the background of the video clearly means we were supposed to notice it. But what is the purpose of this Jack-in-the-Box toy? Well, first, let's give a bit of background about Jack-in-the-Box toys in Playtime Co. Jack-in-the-Box toys themselves were incredibly popular around the time when Playtime Co was supposed to be taking place, being incredibly well known throughout the 1930s, 40s, and even early 50s as kids' toys that sung little nursery rhymes. And funny enough, Playtime Co was actually first founded around the 1930s, so we could actually assume that this Jack-in-the-Box toy could be one of the original toys created for the factory in its early years. Also, it's worth mentioning that most of the other toys were created in the later years of Poppy Playtime, like the 80s and 70s, so this could potentially be a gateway into the origins of Playtime Co's creation. But with that being said, this doesn't really answer the most important question we're all asking. What is the point of this little teaser? Well, there's a couple theories that I've came up with that seem to make the most sense. The first theory is the simplest, and it's that the Jack-in-the-Box is going to be the third main antagonist for Chapter 3. After all, it's been teased in this little celebration video multiple times, so it must have some pretty large purpose for the next chapter. That's the most basic theory, but the second theory starts to suggest something incredibly interesting about this Jack-in-the-Box toy and what it has to do with Playtime Co. If we look back at this little drawing that showcases all of the characters, it out of the gate can be pointed out that the Jack-in-the-Box toy is standing right next to Huggy Wuggy, which already brings up some questions as to their potential relationship together. However, what makes me really suspicious about these two is that, like in most games, color coordination is incredibly important to look at, and what's super interesting is that the Jack-in-the-Box uses the exact same colors as they use for the Huggy Wuggy drawing as well. So it seems to me there is some sort of clear connection between the Chapter 1 main antagonist Huggy and this brand new revealed Jack-in-the-Box toy. Could I even dare say that Huggy Wuggy could have himself an appearance inside of Chapter 3? Well, no, that's impossible, right? We literally saw Huggy Wuggy fall to his death in the very first chapter. He can't just come back to life, right? Well, as I've pointed out in previous videos, Huggy Wuggy, despite dying in Chapter 1, has actually subliminally shown himself throughout the game in Chapter 2, unlike what you may think. Because we see his hair and blood hanging around the railings of Chapter 2, making it pretty clear during his fall that he landed in the lower floor that we explore in the chapter. But then, where did the Huggy body go? Well, this question's a bit confusing until you start to consider the random unused vent inside of the same floor. One that would be the perfect size for a skinny little monster to crawl through after falling down and needing to desperately escape. These are really interesting and specific details for mob games to just randomly include into the second chapter, and it's not like they would just put this stuff in for no reason. They are known for their incredible attention to detail, if you couldn't tell by these teasers alone. So to me, it seems pretty clear, like people have been saying for months now, that Huggy Wuggy is actually still alive. And in fact, I think they're probably teasing him coming back in the third chapter, potentially relating directly with this Jack-in-the-Box toy that we have randomly been seeing teased all around. So with that being said, when the developers are saying things like not what you expect, they are clearly referring to Huggy Wuggy. And on October 31st, I'm making my official prediction that there will be some sort of trailer or maybe just another teaser because Chapter 3 is still so far away. However, in this teaser slash trailer, I think we are going to get an official character reveal. A character reveal of none other than Huggy Wuggy himself. And maybe we'll even get some extra clues about this Jack-in-the-Box character and what he has to do with Playtime Co. and Huggy Wuggy. I mean, let's be real. It's not like they would make Huggy the entire face of the franchise and have him become the literal icon of Playtime Co. in-game and Poppy Playtime as a brand, just for him to get killed off 30 minutes into the game in Chapter 1. We are going to see Huggy reappear, and even better, I think he may want some sort of revenge for what we did to him inside of the factory. After all, he was initially put inside of Playtime Co. to protect the establishment from any unwanted intruders, and so I don't think he'd be too happy with us neck deep into his factory he was literally created to protect. But hey, let me know what you think this new Jack-in-the-Box character is going to be. Subscribe and peace.